Hey kids, and welcome to the show. Today we're going to be talking about aliens and the antenna that we just bought to communicate with them. But seriously, we're talking about Starlink. Starlink is this really cool internet device. A little over a year ago, we put our deposit down because we lived in rural Oklahoma and we had a little Verizon modem box that we could use for about, I don't know, 6 or 7 days, and then watching a couple hours of Netflix a day, and boom, gone. And it got to the point where I was like, oh, we have to do something. And they kept talking about bringing fiber out, and then there's Dish Network, and there's all these things. So when I started researching, there was this new one out, and it was called Starlink. And Starlink is a company designed or created by none other than Elon Musk. And Elon Musk is building the Starship to go to Mars. And that company would be SpaceX. So Starlink are these 48,000 satellites that are being launched into space. They're still being launched into space. And what was really cool is my wife and I were sitting out here in rural Oklahoma after we put our deposit down. And a couple months later, we're laying down, looking at the stars, and all of a sudden, this little cluster of lights shows up, and then they start exiting and then just shooting across the sky, and we got to see Starlink launch, and we watched these satellites go across the sky. It was beautiful. It was weird, but it was beautiful because I'm a techie guy, right? So it just looked like these drones just going it was really neat. So then I said, okay, we're going to get Starlink. We're going to communicate with the satellites. So time goes on, and we still are dealing with this modem, and then Google Fiber comes along. And so we got it. Of course, we got fiber. Are you kidding me? Of course we got fiber. So we went from this this download or upload speeds, top speed 5G is like 50 megabumps or whatever you want to call that, 50, and then Starlink is supposed to be 100. So it's not supposed to be super fast. We're talking like old school cable speeds, not fiber speeds. But they're old school cable speeds communicating with satellites that are communicating around the world. Okay. Here's the cool part that most people don't think about. And Starlink, yes, it's really cool for internet. They say you can game, you can watch videos and stuff like that. Well, we'll see. Because in about 2 weeks, according to their email, we will receive our Starlink kit. And we will be able to set it up live. And, you guys will see how it works. We're going to do our first YouTube live show via Starlink. So we're going to test it. We're going to see if we can actually do, if it's really low latency, we're going to do our first super chat, live chat thing on the day that we'll do it. Maybe on my birthday, somewhere around next month. But in 2 weeks, we'll have Starlink, and we'll start doing our shows, and we'll start working with it. And we're gonna do a live show with Starlink. I know if I could do it with the Verizon modem, I will be able to do it with Starlink. So I'm not concerned about that. So we're gonna get this thing. So what is why is it so cool to get this little satellite dish or a big satellite dish, whatever you want to call it? My grandparents had this huge satellite dish in their backyard just so they can get the Spanish station, okay? And we're talking you had to push the buttons and it moved around. So having a little dish, which seems to be a little bigger than a Dish Network, communicates with these satellites that are about half the distance of the satellites used for Dish Network, which means it doesn't take as long, right? And so it can shoot back. It also apparently uses lasers instead of radio waves or whatever it is, I don't know. We're going to go more into that now that we have the unit coming. I've got 2 weeks to learn a little bit more about the science behind it. But here are 3 really cool things about Starlink and why I wanted so much to be a part of it. Number 1, I like rural living. And at the time, no internet, it's nice to have a Starlink unit that you get the title of. So if we decide to move to Hawaii or Italy or whatever, we can actually pack the Starlink unit up, take it with us, put it, theoretically, set it back up, and boom, we have internet wherever we go. High speed, low latency internet. So that makes it possible for us to say, hey, you know what, let's get some more rural land and let's just go and move out there. So number 1, It's portability. So yes, we live in rural Oklahoma, but maybe we'll live in rural Montana one day, and we will be able to take that unit with us because it's not tied to a service like a local service. For us, our fiber is tied to our electric company. They're awesome. Our electric company is great here, but it's also tied to that. Starlink is not tied to a local service, and it allows you to shoot back up. Number two, Starlink is a big part of the communication array, as far as I'm concerned, that's used to communicate with SpaceX. And I know there's some other stuff up there that communicates with SpaceX, but I think this is like the redundancy, because you don't want people to be able to hack into SpaceX, but you have to have redundancies. So Starlink is basically a redundancy for SpaceX. So when they're launching these rockets into space and they're coming back, they're using these satellites to help guide them to use the GPS. And eventually it will be a communication array to Mars. So it will be easier for us to communicate with Mars when we start sending ships there. We may never colonize Mars, but we will send astronauts to Mars. And this is going to be one of the ways that we're going to be able to communicate with them. And if not the system that's in place right now, but the next generation of system. So we have to get this system in place so that next system can happen. So why are we going to Mars? Because there's aliens. We're looking for life forms. We're trying to be the aliens. We are trying to be an intergalactic race. And one of the ways that we can do that is by interstellar travel. And the only way we can do that is to get off of this rock and onto another. People, unfortunately, are going to die along the way. People are going to hurt. I mean, there's going to be a lot of things happening. But it's an important element to have an escape ship from Earth. And we may run into some little guys out there. We know there's microbes on Mars, and those are called life because they've found little microbes all over the place. So if you believe that those are life, great. I kind of tend to believe they're life because I also believe that babies in the womb are life. So anyway, I just kind of got off the topic, but that's important because we are talking about extending the life of our species. If an asteroid comes in, smacks the Earth, well, all the rich people will be able to jump in ships and take off. Right now, it will be all the rich people, and that's what everybody argues. But here's the thing. Rich people don't do their own stuff. So when a rich person goes to Mars because they're escaping the planet, they're going to take a whole bunch of poor people with them to do all the work. So those poor people in the right situation will be able to work hard and end up eventually being a rich person. America's still that place. I don't know what Mars is going to be like, but America's still that place. And number three thing that I love about Starlink, and this is a rumor, this is a Tesla phone. They're working on this phone. So the idea is that this phone will actually use the Starlink satellites for communication, which means you will have an affordable smartphone that will be a GPS phone. So basically a global phone. You won't have to have a service. You will just have the service with Tesla. And you'll have a phone that works anywhere in the world without towers. So you can get in your little Tesla car, drive to your Tesla job, and use your Tesla phone, and use your Tesla internet, and SpaceX internet, and talk to your grandkids that are on Mars. So I figure if my great-grandkids, my great-grandkids go to Mars, I sure want to be able to talk to them, and it would really be cool to be a part of that original infrastructure that created it and made it possible. And if I don't get to talk to my kids on Mars, maybe our family and the people that helped us raise the money to get the Starlink going, they will be a little part of that history. And if we talk to those aliens, well, hey, we're one step closer to doing that too. So as we proceed forward, we are going to let you guys know where we're at. We confirmed our order last night. It says within 2 weeks we should, our unit should arrive, and when that arrives, we will do an unboxing. And then after the unboxing, after we know everything's set up and we got everything hooked up, we will do a live show. So if you haven't yet, smash the like button, ring the bell so you know when we're doing new shows, subscribe so you get to see that live show when it comes live. I think we're going to do it at night. It'll be a late show because we got to make sure the kids are in bed. And check out the description for all kinds of really cool ways to help our channel. You can get some free cryptocurrency. You can start a Roth IRA with mydigitalmoney.com. You can buy some Scars and Stripes coffee. All those things help us and help us to support this channel. And if you just want to shoot a Cash App, that's Blessed Fatherhood. So get out there, do something, learn something, be a part of something else and something greater. And until next time, work hard, be kind, and have fun.